I wonder at times, why do I keep making a new survivor? What's the point in any of this? Why do I punish myself with crappy traits and play a story that I know ends in my very demise? Why the heck did I choose Apocalypse mode to start with? I mean, bro, I'm green. I'm not even like more than 10 hours in. But why am I playing the hardest mode? Why the is it this hard to survive a week on Apocalypse mode? And why am I even playing Apocalypse mode to begin with? There's Sandbox mode. It can give me the freedom to teach the game and cheese it, even how the mechanics work, because these noodles keep bothering me. Well, I'm here to tell you one goddamn thing. It's because Apocalypse mode was the way that this game was meant to be played.
Stop! Stop now! Come back! I love you!
Liar! Don't believe me? Then sit back, relax, and grab some snacks as I show you why Project Zomboid's Apocalypse mode was the best way to start this game. Slow on 51, what the heck are you talking about? To which I say,
hot diggity dog. This place is magnificent.
I'm talking about the fact that Project Zomboid's Apocalypse mode teaches you the real tips that the Project Zomboid's tutorial should have put in the first place. Like, for example, the real first rule of Project Zomboid isn't survival, it's don't sprint. Because there's so many undead zomboids roaming the map, you might get a bit anxious at your first run and decide, I'm gonna run. Ho ho ho, you poor child. That will end you, and the run faster than you discovering me at your mom's house.
What?
No! Alexis, I'm sorry! No! Run! Run! Hardcore parkour! Ah! Ew! One more shot! Ah! It's over! As sprinting away from the zomboids will tend to make you more tired, exhausted, and weaker. Now, what's the problem in this? It's not a bad thing. You could simply walk off all the zomboids slow and not even face them. Well, you can go tell that to the horde that wants to show up to your safe house, and watch your safe house become an outhouse as zomboids start creeping through your windows and walls, reminding you that you are never alone and to always have rope. It's because of Apocalypse mode that you discover that Project Zomboid is really just comprised of 3 things: looting, timing, and a lot of luck. I mean, seriously. You could create the coolest, strongest character who is raging with zomboids won't touch me energy and skills that'll make anyone weak in the knees. But all it takes is one bad spawn, or tripping, or a car, or a zomboid in your window. And that's about it. What? Whoa, what the hell, dude? This is so dumb. Climb over, you can do it. What? How could she not jump? I'm encumbered, but I thought I had enough stamina to do it. Oh, I'm running out of breath. This is not good. I'm getting cornered. I literally had the perfect setup, boys. Oh my god. I can see all the Project Zomboid veterans just telling me, Slow, what the hell are you doing? And on Apocalypse mode, the chances of hordes, bad timing, and hilariously bad luck can all make or break your survivor within just a matter of seconds. This game mode? This brutal and hard mode is actually a good thing, as you can take the time you need to learn the actual game's mechanics and understand how Moodles work, and even teach you a thing or two about how to make a good character for every run and every outcome. It just comes at the low, low price of trial and error. Death is welcomed here, and since the future of humanity is long gone,
It's free real estate.
Best thing about Zomboid is the fact that no one will ever have the same story. And in Apocalypse mode, it literally was built for this. We're fine. He's just gonna keep banging on that door and nothing's gonna happen. Because it's a steel door, and with God as my witness, it will hold. What? God, you lied! What kind of bullcrap? I'm out of stamina. With each death, you kind of feel better knowing that you survived more days than you should have, and you can always pick up supplies and resources from your old previous characters. It's ruthless, scary, initially of course, but after you get the fact that you can walk out of almost any situation or have a fence nearby that you can take to your advantage, you realize you can become Rick Grimes without the cost of your sanity, and even learn a thing or two about making new characters. Without looking at a guide, I even realized that thirsty was not a bad trait at all. You just need a water bottle to counter it. And the fact that being overweight or skinny may seem like very bad traits as you're more clumsy and more prone to injury, you can actually spend time working out and exercising, which will rebuild your character to the fit state or state that you need. There's also good bad traits in the sense that you can be more nimble or take more calorie losses. And heck, smoker is ridiculously underrated. Once you get a pack of cigs and you got 24, bro, you are set. YouTube, please don't demonetize me, please. Apocalypse will test your patience, and zomboids will always be around every corner. For some odd reason in this game mode. However, all it takes is a little bit of finesse and timing, and you too can avoid the horde of zombies by literally just looping around a house and, jogging from one place to another. Like, if you actually feel cornered, you can go ahead, make a makeshift rope in advance, get chased by a horde, climb up the stairs of any house that has a second story, bust the window open, lock the door first, of course, don't make that mistake, and immediately watch as you climb down and see the horde completely forget where you are. It's that simple. But very important tip, just be sure to make sure that there's nothing below you as far as I'm concerned, because for some reason your character forgets that they can stop when climbing down a rope, and it ends the run in the stupidest way that I've ever seen yet. And the best part about Apocalypse mode is the zombie behavior. It actually makes them a bit more aware. And while the game tells you to initially to avoid combat, I actually say ignore this. That's right, you heard me. I want you to go in there and beat the living heck out of all the undead for me. Smack, whack, and crack their skulls, beat and greet these zombies with your crowbar. And even if you die to it, congratulations. You've learned a thing or two before freaking out about losing your character. If you want to learn about Zomboid behavior, this game mode is literally built for that. For sending hordes of zomboids your way, putting them in tight and scary knit spots that you may have difficulty facing them off. So please, for your first character, don't aim to survive, aim to destroy and tackle as many zomboids as you can. Because when you do this, you eliminate the real issue with Project Zomboid, the fear of restarting and dying. The main mechanic that we're supposed to hiss at when booting up a new character or, entering a new map. Are you... What? I can't fight. Okay. Are you serious? My hair. I'm balding. It's... Okay, wait. We gotta check the stats. When are we... Okay. There's critical damage. Bro, Zachary didn't even survive 8 minutes, 21 seconds. He survived for only 5 seconds. He spawned into the wrong house. The character was sweet. I'm done. Because of this, and because of pushing your limits at the start, you actually uncover how the Zomboid's behaviors are, to the point where you can go full survivor mode, and when you do go full survivor mode, you will know their weaknesses, and their biggest weakness that the game outright hasn't told you, and that is fences. That's right. A preschooler's nightmare. This simple fence will let you stomp zomboids into oblivion and be a good way to take them out as they start to pool in numbers. However, Apocalypse being Apocalypse, it's got another hidden feature that you may not know about, which is the real destroyer that ends your run, even veteran runs. And that one thing is overconfidence and complacency. The fact that all it takes is just one bite or a scratch or slip that you can actually lose a character who survived a month. It is honestly humbling and needs to be talked about more. I kid you not. In my last 9 hours, I had 4 characters died in the stupidest and most ridiculous ways. I chose to fight the zomboids instead of actually walking away or pay attention to my fatigue Moodle, which ended that run. Better yet, I even spawned in-game and got blasted at the start. Shotgun zomboids up the stairs like an idiot and got munched on. And finally got myself cornered, forgetting that I had a rope ladder set and could have used that 2 seconds ago to avoid the entire situation. The funniest part about Project Zomboid's Apocalypse mode is the deaths, as all it takes is literally one bad encounter, a failed fence jump, or a lack of preparation supplies to end your entire run. Bro, just walk. Please, always walk and always have a safe out that you can loop to in the event things happen. This is why Apocalypse mode is good for new players, or for players who just want to dip their toes into the water before taking on challenge runs. It's brutal and unforgiving, and when you make a new character, you literally never know what can happen to them. So when you boot up Apocalypse mode, I'd argue to play it with a low commitment strategy to a character who's dedicated to exploring every inch of the map. I mean it. Take your time. This game is about taking your time. So feel free to mess around and find out through each of your character runs, and it teaches you the best lessons that you could learn. And for locations, let's say you want to take into this, you want to go into a level or section that's a bit easier. So I'll recommend some maps. I'll even say this, if you're too anxious, maybe try Riverside. It's a bit safer and calmer for new players. For those of you who want to feel the best of the best, maybe start out with Rosewood, as it has the perfect balance between lots of Zeds and neighborhoods to escape to in the event that you get surrounded. You can do all that or just say f it and be a bad diving into West Point because you are a masochist and you want to fight all the undead Zeds that you possibly can in this horrible place. Honestly, please do not. This is the one thing I'll tell you. Do not dive into West Point no matter what anyone tells you. It's a troll, it's a trap, it ain't worth it, homie. You got to first fight them and figure out how to survive without a scratch, you know? Then once you got all the maps down or you feel a bit more comfortable with the map of your choice, then I argue to mess around with the skill trees and character setup. Please take the time to understand that some red noodles aren't always bad and that it's totally fine to encounter some of them, except Petite, because you lungs. You will start to see that your survivor's actions reactions will improve over time. Of course, the longer you survive, the more traits you learn. Feel free to disassemble, break things down, and navigate the rest of the map as you go because you never know what skill you can boost just by well, breathing. And with exercise, as I mentioned previously, being goated strat, please do it in the afternoon, because then you won't feel the working out pain as you wake up the next day, as you can literally sleep it off. Also, don't treat infections as the end of the world. Honestly, the most annoying thing with Zomboid in the game is that it doesn't outright tell you you're infected. You could simply have a simple cold, or you could have been bitten and 100% guaranteed to turn into a Zomboid within 72 hours. Yeah, it's that brutal. So honestly, if you ever see signs of infections, try disinfect it to your best of your abilities. And if you start noticing your health bar decreasing over time, then maybe have a backup strat in the event that your character passes away or turns to a Zomboid. Lock yourself in a room and have your next character hopefully reach it in time and get their resources. Either way, just talk it up to these things happen. That's the most important mindset in this game mode, because even if you spend 20 hours on a guy and cry seeing them again as a new character, no, not you, Alexis, you goddamn legend. Now I know what you're thinking. Slow-mo, this is awful advice for someone who wants to immerse themselves into a game and make a character that survives for months on end. Heck, you can even say it's too harsh for beginners, that they should check out Sandbox first and explore all the settings and zomboids and locations, to which I say, yes. Yeah, you can disregard the last 10 minutes maybe. You're 100% right. However, sometimes learning the hard way is the best way. And in this game, these tense and amazing encounters that you could have actually push you to be a bit more creative. I think that's the best part about Apocalypse Mode. We all love this game, and some of the wacky moments that you have in it are even better when the difficulty is there to boot. And speaking of loving this game, I have to ask a favor for you. I expect the legends and vets of this game to write tips below for our fellow survivors in the comments section. If you're new, please just ask anything, and I bet the community of gamers here or even on the Zomboid community post can reach out and help you tackle this ridiculous game mode and have fun doing it. While we may be in Knox County solo for most of our runs, or runs with Raider Dans on multiplayer, it's a community of gamers that made it is what it is today. And with Bill 42 coming sometime soon, we gotta give this game mode some more love and try and push our limits before we do a challenge run. So if you got the game and go back to it because of my video, I'm honestly grateful. And with that, I end the story of why you should play Project Zomboids on Apocalypse Mode first. I normally don't do this fashion of videos, but I had to give it a try. Let me know what you think in the comments, and like and sub anytime. To the devs, take all the time you need. The fact that the game is 12 years old with a bunch of free updates along the way and sick community mods, hands down, this game is bang for your buck. If you're new here, well, what are you doing? Just click off ready and check the game out yourself. I see you there, my guy. I'm going to...